And viewers, our top focus at this hour. Imagine two neighboring regions, same mountains, same rivers, same culture. But now, nearly 8 decades later, they have become two completely different worlds. This is the story of two Kashmir. One is Jammu and Kashmir, and the other is Pakistan occupied Jammu and Kashmir. The line of control may have divided them in 1947, but what truly changed their destiny was something else, the way they were governed. Think of it as two parallel realities. On one side, people vote, governments come and go through elections, local representatives debate roads, schools, and hospitals, development projects keep expanding. And on the other hand, there is a legislature, there is a prime minister. But according to the article, the real power remains concentrated in Islamabad, with Pakistan's military establishment playing a dominant role in the key decision. And that's where the two stories begin to diverge. Now let's start with democracy. In Jammu and Kashmir, political battles play outside and inside the polling booths, courts, and legislatures. Disagreements don't disappear, but there are constitutional institutions where they are debated and challenged. And now, across the line of control, demand for basic rights is being answered with bullets. Protests have increasingly become the language of frustration in POJ. Residents have taken to the streets over rising electricity bills, inflation, unemployment, shortages, and what they describe as political marginalization. The response has included security deployments, arrests, and allegations of force against protesters. Now let's talk about something that everyone is noticing: development. Because roads don't lie, neither do hospitals or railway tracks or airports. Over the past decade, Jammu and Kashmir has seen new highways, mountain tunnels, railway expansion, modernized airports, medical colleges, healthcare projects, tourism infrastructure, and digital connectivity. The article argues that these projects have transformed connectivity and economic opportunities across the region. Now cross over to the POJK, and the picture is very different. Many areas still struggle with poor roads, power shortages, limited healthcare, weak industrial growth, and fewer employment opportunities. Perhaps the biggest irony: POJK has enormous hydropower potential, yet residents continue protesting over electricity shortages and the rising power tariffs. Many locals feel that the region's natural wealth is not translating into local benefits because major policy decisions are made outside the territory. So, what is this really about? It's not just a story of border, it's a story of governance, of institutions, of accountability, and of how political systems can shape everyday life. Two regions separated by a line on a map, but increasingly separated by the experiences of the people who live there.